Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. In this video, I'm going to take you on a research journey. It's a typical journey that I take when I'm doing XRP research. And usually I just pull out small, very easy to understand nuggets that update people who are interested in the digital asset XRP. But this video, I'm going to do it a little different. I'm not going to be long on details, but I'm going to touch on points of research that draw a solid line to the dots of progression and what the XRP holders are connected to. This first dot is SBI, the SBI Holdings Group here in Japan. They have a bank called the Sumishin Bank, and they were awarded the by the Global Banking and Finance Review, the Internet Bank of Japan 2019. I think that was a really great find. Another bank you'll recognize in their list of receiving awards is the TP Bank. This is another SBI invested bank in Vietnam, and they are using Ripplenet technology. One of the 4 awards that they won is having the best payment gateway. This is for their Quick Pay mobile app that uses a QR code and AI technology. I want you to keep that in mind for the purpose of this video. They also won the fastest growing retail bank in Vietnam. So when we take a look at their website, you can see that SBI is a strategic shareholder according to this site, and I think I know why. And also, I want to point out another on-demand liquidity bank that received an award. And actually, it's the compliance officer that received the award. This is Graham Bright. I think everybody knows his name that's been following XRP for a couple of years because he was one of the first banks to go live with XRP for the trade finance industry. And it was announced, if I remember correctly, it was announced in not the last swell event in Singapore, but the one prior to that. So he won the Corporate Excellence Award with the Business Worldwide magazine, and he now has the title of, let me find it here for you, the most innovative executive in the trade finance industry. That's pretty good because global trade transactions have traditionally been seen as complex, costly, and time-consuming, but in under 5 years, EuroExim Bank has made great strides that are helping change the way people manage their trades and settlement. So thanks to pioneering technology, that's Ripple, of course, customers now have an instant, safe, and secure alternative to what was once a risky and cumbersome business. So they are an on-demand liquidity partner, and they were one of the first. So congratulations to Graham. Okay, I want to keep you up to date also on the SBI XRP initiatives. SBI is working on using XRP for settlement in Africa. Africa is emerging because the population is expected to double by 2100. It's to grow to an estimated 3.8 billion. So with that growth comes economic growth, and that is why so many countries are entering Africa. For SBI Africa, they are focused on an interesting vertical, and that's the used car exported from Japan. So SBI in October established this business, SBI Africa, which is a joint venture with the auto auction operator that purchases high quality Japanese used cars, and they target to have 100,000 cars per year for the next 5 years to be sold in Africa, including Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique. And SBI will handle, of course, that export channel, the car loans, and the insurance. It's brilliant. I love it. And he wants to use XRP for the settlement. So you can see, let me just show you the SBI Africa site if you're interested in looking at that a little bit further. And also, if you go to the, what did I do here? Oh, there we are. If you go to the @JUMVEA Japan, you can browse through these cars that come into the Exporters Association of Japan. And if you're curious, you might be able to find something that's kind of fun. Here is, what is this? This is a 2006 E-Class Mercedes. It sells for $4,400 US. I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess you have to check do they still have a Kelly Blue Book? I remember that's what I grew up with. I don't even know if they have that anymore. Or how about a tiny little Honda truck? When I first came to Japan, I still kind of laugh at these tiny trucks. They're very versatile and easily, can be driven in the city, especially for deliveries, because the streets, this is a very old city, and most of Japan, the cities are very, very old, and they're not laid out in a grid, and the streets are quite narrow when you get off the main roads. So this tiny little truck you can own for just $1,600. Okay, so it should not be a surprise on this next story. This is the story that I'm chasing every day. I am trying to, of course, find out about this on-demand liquidity going live in Japan that is supposed to happen in Q1. That came from the co-founder of Flash FX. He is an on-demand liquidity user in Australia. And when he told me that, I keep searching for that corridor. I don't want to tell you how often or how long I search, but I do search. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be with SBI Remit. I checked the details yesterday, and I found something interesting on their execution period page for remittances. You can see that they have some times laid out for how long it takes to move money. And when using MoneyGram, which is their correspondent, it takes just within 10 minutes. But they have some direct relationships too, and you can see they're cited here in 2 through 10. It's their banks, and their mostly banks located in Peru, Brazil, Vietnam, Philippines, Nepal, Myanmar, and most of those take anywhere from 0 to 2 business days to execute. However, look at this. This is one that caught my eye. When moving money to the Siam Commercial Bank, SCB, that is the correspondent destination, it happens on that day. So that tells me that bank corridor with SBI Remit is a little special. And 8 weeks ago, it was announced that the Siam Commercial Bank is having a cross-border payments app developed by Ripple. And this is for, it's actually being called an upgrade. And it was demonstrated at Swell in November. And SCB and Ripple have been working together to basically bring this EMVCO QR payments through the app, enabling anyone within Southeast Asia to make payments in another country without using local currency. Now remember, this app is called the SCB Easy app, and that Easy app on February 6th appeared in an article. And you can see that it was in the Nation Thailand business section. And listen to this, this is just unbelievable. Any non-Siam Commercial Bank customer can open an online account using facial recognition technology. So they never have to walk into a branch. Hello, JP Morgan Chase, that just opened 70 new brick and mortar banks in 2019 and now laying off thousands. This app, as of November, has 10 million users. It also has reached 1,200 digital loans, 22,000 insurance policies, 400,000 bank cards, and it also has a donation tool too. And wow, and then in addition, this space just fascinates me. In addition, there is a tool that has been launched with the Siam Commercial Easy mobile banking app called Telescore. And it's a new campaign that uses influencers to build application awareness. Do you feel the world is changing fast? Well, you should, because it is. It's AI-driven and data-driven. It's effective. for advertising brand in a whole new way. I'm telling you, I'm fascinated with this space. So on January 9th, 2020, Yogita from The Block wrote an article on the Ripple and Thailand's oldest bank working together to enable those cross-border payments via the QR codes. And the remittances also will include a micropayment service. So I don't know if that's something similar to Coil, I'm not sure. But she, the writer, Yogita, cites that working with the Singapore-based payment firm Liquid Group, and she's not clear, as she writes in this article, how it is different from the Ripple Partnership. Well, it's not too hard to find that out, actually. When we take a look at what Liquid does, the Liquid Group is a white label solutions company, all right? So they provide the service side to accelerate these mobile payments for partners in Singapore is where they're based. But Ripple obviously is providing those rails. And if you go to the XRP arcade, you can see that the Liquid Group did indeed attend the Swell event in November. So obviously this is a collaboration, and you just have to look to November 8th in this article, which is in the Electronic Payments International, and you can see that the Siam Commercial first VP of Global Transaction and Banking Services Division of SCB states that the partnership with the Liquid Group will enable customers to use this easy app with other banks in their cross-border payments with a feature using a QR code for payments. And Liquid brings the QR code to the services, and of course they're using the Ripple rails. And as of September 2019, the QR code now that is provided by Liquid is in 10 Asian markets. Here is the company that owns Liquid Pay. It's Corvac. It's so very much talked about in the news here in Asia, because when you look at who's behind a lot of this technology that's coming out of Singapore. And Singapore in 2016 was really thought of as the next Silicon Valley. And I don't disagree with that, actually. You can see that Corvac actually was appointed as the EMV partner by Visa and MasterCard to migrate the key banks in Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. Anyway, you can see the Liquid Pay here. Now, when I was searching for what Liquid Pay is up to with Corvac, I thought I would be able to find a little more information. And what it did is it took me to a website or a URL that actually was new to me. And it was a website called ripplesingapore.com. And I just really, to be honest with you, I just didn't know about it. So when you go to their Twitter feed, they were very active in 2015, tweeting. Actually, they joined Twitter in early 2013. But the last tweet was October 16. And this is kind of taking you to the page on Reddit that their tweet talked about, and they were closing this gateway, the Ripple Singapore gateway. And they cited that there are two reasons why they're going to do the closure. They're due to the big bank in Singapore shutting down the gateway's accounts earlier and without giving any reason why they did it, and the strategic tack by Ripple to banks and financial institutions only. So they basically said, Ripple had kind of changed their business model. Now, you can't find that ripplesingapore.com on the internet live anymore. You have to research through the Wayback Machine. And I did so. And it's interesting because it's a place where you can buy bullion, you could store it, you could spend it, you could trade it, you could download it. It was fully insured. They were part of the Singapore jurisdiction at the time. And what's really key is I found the Ripple address. This Ripple address is quite interesting. Now, they use the XRP protocol. I don't want to miss that because it's a service gateway for gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies to move, to transfer. And but the address which they were using, oh, I found a fantastic article about them. Now, I want to I'll let you know ahead of time, and then we'll go look at those the addresses that it's connected to. Yeah, they are current. But wow, I found a fantastic article that's older, but it was by Wise Cryptos, and they actually interviewed the co-founder of Ripple Singapore, and it's a great article. I'm telling you, it's really good. They think that at that time they were interviewed, that Ripple was probably the most versatile in all the fintech solutions, and their team consulted with Ripple Labs to make this attractive and functional site that integrates straight into the person's Ripple wallet. So they don't hold any of the customers' funds from their servers. The cash deposits are held in Singapore's oldest and one of the best capitalized banks. 100% reserve physical gold, silver, and platinum are bought through the silver bullion entity, which had an excellent dealership. Yeah, they were very reliable and they tested everything. And so when they were asked, why does the world need Ripple Singapore? He said that because Ripple is the most powerful combined exchange and payment system, and that Singapore is an ideal place for the precious metals Ripple gateway. And then they were also asked about, you know, where do they think Ripple will be in 1, 5, or 10 years? And the answer is really interesting. Yeah, he also stated he couldn't believe that it took so long to invent what Ripple had invented. All right, I think in 5 to 10 years, he writes, having a Ripple address will be as normal as an email address, and this will include many of the 2 billion people outside the banking system, and there will be a far greater range of goods and services bought and sold on Ripple in the future. And we're hoping that Ripple Singapore's gold and silver demonstrates that it is not just currencies that can be traded on the network, but we are at the foothills of a much broader value revolution. And most people misunderstand XRP. Its foremost role is to defend the Ripple network. Imagine each Ripple transaction was an envelope, and the envelope needs a stamp that can be reused. What a great analogy. A tiny amount of XRP is used in each transaction to defend the Ripple network. The second important role is that XRP, as the only asset on Ripple without counterparty risk, enables traders on Ripple to minimize their exchange paths to 2 steps with more concentrated liquidity. I love it. So you can see this is the Korean, I think this is the Korean won paired with XRP, or you've got gold paired with XRP here. And so why do Bitcoiners dislike Ripple? He says, I don't think that's entirely true. I would suggest that many Ripple users are also Bitcoin fans, and he's correct. Bitcoin is a fantastic math-based currency, and Ripple is a fantastic math-based marketplace. I just love this. Okay, I'm going to just go one more bit here. There is some criticism in the Bitcoin community of XRP being pre-mined, and he doesn't understand that concern. However, he would invite people to consider the fact that XRP defends the Ripple network for $5, $10 worth of XRP. You will never have to pay transaction fees ever again for a potentially massive range of items of value, and that the criticism that the founders have kept a large large portion of XRP for themselves. However, if you believe in free markets and you allow for the fact that people make great products in the hope that in offering people what they want, they will also benefit themselves, that is how capitalism works. I just love this answer. And I believe that Ripple is a game-changing technology in the history of the marketplace. It's growing exponentially, both in its number of users and items of value, but look a little deeper and you'll find that for all the marvelous technology, the marketplace has not changed one bit in thousands of years. And in the marketplace, trust networks come first. And when these are established, goods soon follow. So demand and supply determine the value of those goods. And in the long term, financial value is best measured in gold and silver. Well, he's a gold and silver guy. So anyway, I just think this was a really fun article to read. And I just love when I come across things that I have not seen. Okay, let's get back to that Ripple Singapore address. So it is active. It is active. It is active as of February 8th, 2020. And you can see all of the other addresses that it's connected to. And yeah, I focused on just the big movements. I wanted to focus on the movements of 1 billion. Yes, I did say 1 billion. There are some transactions that are back in October that are 1 billion. Look at this. 1 billion in gold, and here is 1 billion in US dollars. This one is zero. Hang on. Here we go. 1 billion in US dollars. Those are transactions that are done on a trust line. Now, the trust line is something that you can, it's a feature that the XRP ledger authorizes, and it enables the issuer to limit who can hold its issued non-XRP currencies. It has no effect on XRP. You can read about it on the xrpl.org documents. Like I said, I'm not going to go long into details on this video, but that gives you the jumping off point for that dot if you're interested in studying more about the trust line feature. So here we can see that a lot of it went to, well, many of that of those transfers are going to bw.com, and there's like 1 billion yen from Ripple China, and there's $1 billion US dollars connected also to Bitstamp on this. This wallet is also connected to Huobi. It's so interesting. Now, who is bw.com? They are the world's first pool-based digital derivatives trading platform, providing value investment to 280,000 miners, 600,000 digital currency investors, and they are in about 45 different countries. They're headquartered in Singapore, but they have operations in Australia, Singapore, Korea, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Taiwan, and other countries and regions. They're huge, right? Okay, so if I take you then to their wallet, this is very, very interesting because this wallet is active. It's very active. You can see here, there was something sent to bitmex.io on February 9th, 2020. So today, and it was sending XRP. As a matter of fact, they're sending tons of XRP to places like Binance, Huobi, OKX, HitBTC, Bitfinex. Yeah. So I'm not going long on details on here just because the purpose of this was to show you what you are connected to when it comes to XRP. Okay, I have way too many tabs open today. We are going to go straight to the fluff with just one tab. And that is, it's tough right now in Japan with the economic impact that the situation in China is happening, but there are some good things too that I want to point out, and that is the Japanese internet business provider GMO actually closed their offices down, affecting about 4,000 employees, but those employees now are going to telecommute for the next 2 weeks. They actually come back to work after the holiday, which is in Japan here on the 11th, and it's really, I think, super, because this country has been slow in adopting telecommuting, and I think so many people can telecommute, and it's just not really an accepted way of working, and I'm fortunately, I feel that they are working those long hours in the offices to to prove that they're working hard, and that's just not the way you should do it. I mean, if you're working too hard, then the job, in my opinion, is too big for you. So that is a belief that I grew up with, and I think staying in the office till 9, 10, 11 o'clock, or even till the last train runs, is not the way this country needs to move forward. And I'm really happy to see that they will experience this telecommuting, and hopefully it'll catch on and really take off in the country. And yeah, okay, so I told you it's a quick fluff because look how many tabs I have open. I can't do any more today. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.